Now, your first several jobs here, Spartanburg, even at WSB, they were all news jobs. Were those just because those were the ones that are open, or did you purposely start that way?
No, I was going to take whatever came up, and so my background on the radio while I was in school was news and sports, both for Q105 radio. I wasn't spinning records. I was just doing news and sports drive time in the morning and the afternoon. And so then I said, when I graduated, whatever TV station wants to hire me, I'm going, whether it's news or sports. And I flubbed an audition in Albany, Georgia for a sports job. And Frank, I'm sitting there, I felt like the biggest wheel when they said, yeah, come down for an audition and we'll put you up down here. And I drive down to Albany and I stroll into this place. Yeah, I've got a room here that's the Channel 10 has arranged for me. Yes, yeah, Mr. Johnson, we've got you in there. And I said, well, this is great. This is big time. And then I proceed to walk into their TV studio, and they had to fumigate the thing after my audition. It was so brutal. And the news director there said, because I begged him, I said, please let me try that again. I was so nervous. Let me try it again. He said, no, we saw enough, and we'll get back to you. And they never got back to me.
Waiting for
I'm
that
still
call?
waiting for that phone call from Albany to tell me I didn't get that job. But then WMAZ was looking for a news anchor, and so I came down here, and this audition thankfully went better, and they hired me in 1979. And so at the age of 23, I was anchoring the news at 11 o'clock and eventually at 6 o'clock, and that's how that's how the news thing started. And then when you think you're ready to move on, then Spartanburg's looking for a general assignment reporter at Channel 7, and they hired me. And so, yeah, my first two jobs are news, and then WSB hired me as a news reporter. Mm-hmm. But so much of this job and so much of this business is timing and opportunity, and in divine intervention. It's like I'm a news reporter when a new news director takes over at Channel 2, and the day he takes over, I'm filling in for one of the sports guys doing a live shot before a Braves game. And the next day I come in, and his secretary said, Raven Matthews wants to see you. And I'm like, well, do I need to box my things up and look around? Because once the new news director wants to see you on his second official day, maybe it's, well, this is where the house cleaning starts.
Like the Albany guy, he had seen enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so he comes in and says, have you ever thought about doing sports? And I said, I've always loved it. And he said, well, I want to make a change. I want to make you the weekend sports anchor. And so that's the trajectory of my career just totally changed at that point. So that now I'm covering sports in a big league city, and did that for I guess 6 years, anchoring the weekends before I went to Turner.
You ever think if Raven Matthews had said, I want you to be my news anchor, how things might have been?
Yeah, that wouldn't have lasted long. I know my strengths and weaknesses, and there are certain news stories where I feel like I'm really strong, and then there were other areas where I'll be watching the news and say, man, I'm glad I'm not anchoring that news, because I wouldn't know what to ask this guy, And so, yeah, it definitely worked out.
How hard was it to switch? Because, you were at WSB, one of the most respected stations in the country. You're doing sports, something you love, and then Turner comes along. How difficult was it, or what was the thought process when you made that move?
It wasn't really tough. I think it would have been tougher going from sports into news, because I had a real comfort zone with sports, having grown up with my dad playing big league baseball and me loving every sport, and so it really wasn't that bad. In fact, we've always referred to working in the sports department as you're working in the toy department. This is life and death, real life stuff on the news side, and you guys are fun and games. And so it really was kind of that, it was that approach that, I'm getting to do something here that, man, I wanted to do the first time in Albany. I just never had the chance, but now here I had a chance in Atlanta to do it.